Have you ever prayed and felt like God didn't hear you? Like heaven was quiet and your heart was broken? Before you give up, hear this. There are moments in life when a person stands between faith and pain and wonders if God is even real. This story begins with a boy named Ethan, a child who once believed deeply that Jesus could do anything. Ethan's childhood was simple. He woke up to birds outside his window, sunlight filling the room, and the soft voice of his mother praying. Every night she would read to him from the Bible, especially the story of Jesus calming the storm. When she finished, she would place her hand on Ethan's head and say gently, "No matter what storm comes, Jesus never leaves." And Ethan believed her. He believed with the pure heart only a child can have. But life has a way of testing what we believe. Everything changed when Ethan turned 16. His mother became very sick, the kind of sickness doctors whisper about. Ethan prayed harder than he ever had before. He knelt beside his bed every night and whispered, "Jesus, please heal her. I know you can. Please don't take her away." Days passed, his mother grew weaker, yet Ethan never lost hope, not yet. One night she held his hands, her voice soft but full of love. "Listen, Ethan. Don't let pain destroy your faith." He nodded, tears in his eyes, promising her silently that he never would. But the next morning, she was gone. Everything felt unreal. The world didn't break quietly, it shattered. Ethan felt like God had betrayed him. All those prayers, all that tears, all that faith, and still she died. He stopped praying, stopped reading the Bible, stopped believing. Because in Ethan's heart, Jesus had failed him. Years passed. Ethan grew older, moved to a new city, and tried to build a life. But some wounds don't heal quickly, especially wounds made by silence. He worked hard. He laughed at parties. He acted like life was fine. But late at night, when the world was quiet, grief returned like a shadow. Sometimes he would open the drawer where his mother's old Bible rested and quickly close it again, because one memory haunted him more than any other. Jesus never leaves. But Ethan thought, "He left me when I needed him most." So he hardened his heart. Life continued until everything fell apart again. One cold winter evening, Ethan sat alone in his tiny apartment. He had just lost his job. His girlfriend left him. His rent was late. And the future felt dark. He stared at the wall and whispered to himself, "Why does everything I love leave?" For the first time in years, Ethan prayed, not with faith, but with frustration, confusion, and pain. "God, are you there? Why didn't you help me? Why didn't you save her? Why do you stay silent?" No answer came. Just the same silence he remembered from years ago. He sank to the floor and cried, not quietly, but like someone holding years of pain inside. And while he cried, something unexpected happened. Not a miracle, not an angel, not thunder, just peace. A peace he hadn't felt since he was a child. In that deep silence, a soft voice touched his heart. "I never left you." Ethan froze. The voice continued. "When you cried, I was with you. When you doubted, I stayed. When your world broke, I held your heart. You turned away from me, but I never turned away from you." Tears streamed down Ethan's face. His voice shook as he whispered, "But why didn't you save my mom?" The answer came gently. "I did. Not from death, but from suffering. She is home. She is healed. She is alive with me." Suddenly, Ethan understood. God didn't always end storms. Sometimes he walked with us through them. He slowly reached for the Bible he had avoided for years. When he opened it, it fell to a verse. "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Close. Not distant, not silent, not absent. Close. For hours, Ethan read, not because he had to, but because the words felt alive again. Days turned into weeks. Ethan returned to church, not because life magically became perfect, but because he finally understood something. Jesus was never the God who abandons. He was the God who stays even when we don't feel him. Years later, Ethan stood on a stage speaking to hundreds of people who also carried silent wounds. He looked at them and said,
Some of you prayed for something and didn't get the answer you wanted. Some of you think God is silent. But listen, God's silence is never his absence. People listened because his story felt like their story. Ethan continued, "Sometimes God doesn't fix life the way we expect. Sometimes he heals the heart before he heals the situation. Sometimes his answer is, 'I'm here, even if it hurts.'" The room grew quiet. Then Ethan repeated the sentence his mother once told him, the words that never left his soul. No matter what you're going through, Jesus never leaves. And that day, hearts softened, tears fell, prayers returned, not because everything was suddenly perfect, but because hope came back. And hope was Jesus. Even when life hurts, even when prayers feel unanswered, even when heaven seems silent, Jesus is closer than your breath. He never left and he never will.